Hello everybody and welcome to another version of my Facebook Live UX audits. Today we are going to continue the trend of going through Denver Bloggers Club member websites, and the website we're going to go over today is a little bit different than anything we've done so far in that it is a blog for somebody who blogs about fitness and also offers like fitness advice and trainings and things like that. So, definitely a blog that supports a business, which I love. It's, not just a side project, which of course is always fine too, but it's always interesting to see, how somebody has taken their blog and turned it into a business or used it to support their business. So, it's of extra interest to me and hopefully will be to you as well. And in line with the theme of fitness and working out and all that good stuff, I got my act together and went to the gym early this morning and showered and put on makeup. So enjoy it while it lasts. It's definitely not going to be always this way, but I'm trying to, I'm sure this particular person's audience, I'm trying to be better about eating and working out and hoping it's not just a New Year's resolution thing because I was super lazy last year and now just trying to get it back together. So anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at the website. I'm switching my screen here so you can see it, and I think I had to click something so that it actually shows you this whole thing without cutting it off. Okay, that looks pretty good. I just want to make sure that you can see all the things that I can see. Okay, cool. So the blog is called MamaLifts, which, as you can probably imagine, is written by a mother who is sharing advice with fellow mothers about how they can fit in workouts and be healthy while still raising a family and dealing with kids and all that good stuff. So my first thought while looking at this website is that the header is huge, like this image here. The image itself could probably be cropped, which is fairly easy to do if you go into a program like Preview, which maybe I can show you. Let me see if I have any images that I can mess around with. Let's go to my, I just want to show you guys really quick how to use Preview. So here's like a weird thing that one of my best friends sent me. It's like a conspiracy theories board. But anyway, so you look to crop something, you have to open Preview and open the image in Preview, and then you can click this markup toolbar that you can see right here in the blue that I'm clicking, and it gives you all these options. You can also do this in Photoshop or in something like Canva, but honestly, I've found that it's easiest to just use Preview if you're using a Mac to do like the really simple stuff like resizing or cropping. So then you'll notice that if you go to, oh man, where is it? No, I can't remember. Oh, I think what you have to do is you have to draw the line around whatever you want to crop, and then, so you see this button right here that says crop, so I could do that. So that's just a really quick way to show you how to crop your images. So I would crop out this top part and even under MamaLifts so that you'd have a more rectangular instead of square image to work with. And, that would reduce a lot of this white space without having to ever dig into the code. So just a pro tip for everybody, easy image editing tip. It helps to keep it simple, especially if you don't have graphic design or web design experience. There definitely are ways to get around some of the stuff that you'd otherwise have to, hire a web developer for. Anyway, so I would reduce that header size, the image specifically, and we get into the website. And one thing I've been kind of on a kick for lately is for something that's as important as your page header here, I would suggest not using a stock photo because this is such an important area on the home page more than anywhere else. This is such an important area to kind of solidify your branding, maybe have a picture of you. If the brand is all about you and, you're the sole writer, then people want to know who it is that they're getting this advice from. So what would be a lot stronger than this, what seems to be a stock photo, is the blog's proprietor, maybe having her showing a client how to do some moves or something like that, or even just her working out. So, it starts with a pretty clear call to action. She has a start here page, which I think is such a smart thing for bloggers who have a lot of content to kind of organize it around, here are some of the most popular posts. Here's where beginners start. And we'll look at that in a second. But let me finish this home page. So I want to say this looks like it might be on the Genesis theme work, and it'll be more obvious to those with, the eye for that, I guess, when we look at the individual blog post pages. Genesis is a really awesome theme framework that looks so professional. It's kind of minimalistic, but still like having room for all the things that you want to do. Studio Press is the company behind Genesis, and they also have several other like niche themes that you can use for different purposes. So definitely recommend it, especially for a new blogger who doesn't have a web developer on hand to help them make these changes. One thing I would add to this, I want to say these are maybe recent posts. Having some sort of heading that says, fresh off the blog, or, whatever fits your brand voice, but having something that sets expectations for people would be useful. I really like how her messaging, and you'll see it throughout the homepage, speaks directly to that target audience, a mom with kids who wants to stay fit. Great that she has this call to action here. I wonder if it's one of her most important calls to action, because I would argue that maybe instead trying to get them to sign up for an email newsletter or trying to direct them towards like this train with me page might be more important than talking about this tribe right here. And in fact, it says join the tribe, but it looks like it redirects to the contact page, which has an email newsletter subscription. So, why not just directly embed that right here, unless there's some other reason that you want to get people to get in touch. But there's like kind of a mismatch between the messaging here, join this community, and then, redirects to a contact page where people are like, well, am I supposed to, fill out the contact form to join this community, or are you talking about the email newsletter? So this is a good reminder for anybody who's creating web page copy, or even just, structuring their homepage. Make sure the text matches the call to action, and that the end result of that call to action matches the text too. And again, I'm not sure if this is a stock photo or not, but perhaps another opportunity to, use your own branding and make it look less staged. Especially because the people that you're looking to speak with, moms with kids who want to be fit, they're probably used to kind of a more, messy, like hurried, like overwhelmed aesthetic. And so if you kind of show them examples of people who, aren't 100% put together, that might be better than this person who, it's like her hair is like in a perfect ponytail. She's, it looks like she knows what she's doing. Like maybe it would make more sense to show somebody who is struggling a little bit, but, is enjoying the process of having the time to spend on herself. That's getting really deep, but let's keep going here. So, okay, so these look like they're kind of like feature items based on the most important goals and calls to action, not just blog posts, although some of them might be. So it looks like this goes to workout page, start here page, contact, and then like the about page. So I would have some sort of heading that just says like easy well, this isn't what I would do, but like easy navigation, like, how to navigate the site. I don't know. That doesn't sound exactly right, but something to add context to this. And then this is cool too. It kind of repeats this call to action, or let's see, workouts. This is like a workout page, and then this is the same page, I think, just looking at the bottom here. When I hover over the button and it shows the URL. So I don't know if these need to be repeated in such close succession. Like maybe what makes more sense is to just focus on these three items here, get rid of this one, and then call this one out below it as you have. I want to say that it's cool that you have the GDPR cookie consent thing here. It's not a global data policy yet, but it seems like people are going to follow suit on that. And so, it's better to kind of work to comply now than waiting until the last minute so you can figure out what works best for you and where you really need like those consent notices and stuff like that. So anyway, let's finish up on the homepage here. One thing I noticed when looking through the navigation is that contact is here, but this bar is really big enough that you could put it, over here. And I think it should be a top level menu item, not a drop down thing, because since this is a blog and since you are trying to solicit business from it in terms of like this train from me page, contact should be easy to find. You don't want people to have to dig for that if they really want to get in touch. So let's look at the contact page one more time because we had briefly looked at it. Okay, so this looks pretty good to me. She includes her email. Like I said, she has a sign up for the newsletter, which I think is fine. I think this contact form is simple. One thing that I might mention is if you're interested in getting branded partnerships and like working with people on sponsored posts, this could probably use some beefing up. In that case, it might make sense to have your own like press page that goes into things like, request a media kit and, here are some of the people we've worked with. And then, this should say, have a question or, want to get in touch about a brand sponsorship, get in touch. It is really nice that she sets expectations in terms of how long it's going to take to get a response. A lot of people don't do that, so it's kind of like, oh, I'll get a response whenever they feel like. But she's, totally professional, has that information here, so I love it. What else do we want to look at? I wanted to look at the blog really quick. So another like minor note about the menu navigation is, so we have start here and both the S and the H are capitalized, but then we have train with me and the other words are not capitalized. So this would be title case and this is sentence case. And then if you look here, we also have sentence case and that only the first letter is capitalized. And I'm a big believer that text formatting increases trust, which increases, sales and getting people to sign up for your newsletter and all that good stuff. I would recommend having everything in title case, just having like the main words. You can Google like title case converter, I guess. Let's see. So there's one right here. It's just literally titlecaseconverter.com. So if you're not sure how to do title case, like should you be capitalized or, prepositions or stuff like that, then you can just put it in here. And for something as important as your menu items, I would absolutely take the time to do that. So here is the blog. I'm not sure why this read more thing is. It looks like maybe it's supposed to go at the bottom, maybe like it's supposed to create like an infinite scroller or something, but it's not clickable. It doesn't really add anything. Like we have next page, so I guess read more isn't really supposed to go there. So what else? I will say it's always a struggle to say if a sidebar is necessary or not. I think on the main blog page, it's maybe good that she doesn't have it there because she does have major categories listed in the top level navigation, and she has a sidebar, which is why this design is what made me think that it was a Genesis theme. And it's just very modular and nice. The newsletter sign up needs a better value proposition. And it also needs to set expectations like she did on the contact form. How often is this newsletter going to get sent out? What can I expect to see on this newsletter? Is it going to be a roundup of blog posts? Is it going to be special offers or, first notice when you have new, trainings? Like this just needs a little bit more context. I would also include your picture here in about this site and maybe even move this above everything else or maybe under search. Other than that, it looks like it's a good design. It's minimal, but it gets to the point, focuses on the content, which is great because it is a blog. So after all, these are important things. What else do I need to look at? Let's look at one or two more pages because we're getting to the 15-minute mark here. So one thing that I've seen with a lot of bloggers is sometimes they create like image things with a lot of text. The downside to doing it this way is that it's not going to help your SEO at all. If you have image within a text, it's really better to create an image that's like a feature image, but then have the text as well, or, repeat it. I don't know what the best solution is here, but, having this information makes the page have more content from which Google can index. And so I think that's a missed opportunity here. Besides that, obviously you want to pick like a keyword that you're going to be building the content around. And I'm not saying that, this text alone is going to do the job. I'm just saying that it's going to give Google more to work with. So I like that she lists her pricing. I like that she has a link to the contact form, but I think this page really needs an embedded contact form as well. This is the page where people have all the information at hand to make a decision to move forward, so why not capitalize on them while they're here? So I think I'm gonna stop it there. Well, let's look at the Start Here page just so you can see it and just so you can understand why it's useful. So, I think she goes into a lot of things that are important to her and important to the fact that she's trying to help people, get in their workouts and get in good workouts. She gives some how-to articles. This is interesting, though. It looks like there might have been articles here that have since been unlinked. If you've taken those articles down, just get rid of this stuff because it looks kind of sloppy to have it there but not have any answers for people. But I do love all these other focused areas. I would highlight things like getting back into strength training postpartum, or continuing to lift during pregnancy, or starting with these how-to articles and beginner workouts, like making those bold so that I don't have to read the whole sentence to figure out which one's relevant to me, or using headers, honestly, would be the same idea. And then here's another place where directly embedding a contact form could be useful. At any rate, I think I have gotten to kind of the limit of my time here and probably your attention as well. So I am going to end it here. Overall, great blog. Simple, but, focus on the content, which is always good. Just a couple minor things that I would do to improve trust and just make reading a little bit easier. And also, just reducing white space because it's not always a good thing.